Okay, so what do we think is going to happen between Elizabeth and Darcy, since Darcy proposed, but Elizabeth is, like, obviously rejected,
we're
but
starting at
kind
the end
of...
of the chapter again.
Yes, because that's the most interesting part.
I think because, like, he'll keep, like, he loves her so much, I think he'll keep trying.
Yeah, me too.
Persistence.
Because he's not, like, he's not one of those to just, like, jump between women.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if he really wants her, I think he'll realize that he was just being a dummy and shouldn't have said those things to her. And maybe they'll...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fourth person who's tried to get in. I'm like, our open sign is off, our hours are on the door, and the lights are off. Like, what the heck?
Okay, back to literature.
Sorry.
Sorry, Miss Mary, slight.
Little detour.
Yeah, I think he'll keep trying to...
I hope
He
so.
will. No, he'll keep trying.
I still think that Collins is icky, and that I really didn't like Lady Catherine whenever they had the dinner together.
She was a naughty word.
Yeah, she was a witch.
She's weird. Like, I don't like Collins.
I'll see why Collins thought that she was such a nice person.
I know, and Charlotte is like feeding into Collins' stuff because she's trying to be, she's trying to keep being married to him, I guess, and that's the only reason that she's acting that way.
That poor girl.
I would hate that. I can't imagine living the rest of your life like hiding your true feelings from your husband. That's not what your husband is supposed to be. It's terrible.
She likes money.
Yep.
True, but I think I would rather live on the street as an independent woman than...
Did you ever figure out if Wickham was lying?
Okay, but in that time period, you would definitely choose the money over living on the street.
Would I have?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would pick the money. I still pick the money.
I
Social
don't-
standards were different. This is
I
something
had
that
that discussion today. He's ugly, man. He has lots of money.
Maybe
something-
I'd find a gay guy and marry him.
Do y'all's own thing.
Yeah, for real.
Sorry for the detour again, Miss Nuri.
Technically,
Did we
we're
ever
on...
Yeah, no, we're not
This
detouring
is still
anything.
on
Oh, okay.
topic, kind
Did
of.
you ever figure out if Wickham was lying? Or
No,
is, like, is he
but the aunt
was.
was... The aunt didn't like him a lot.
The aunt said to be very weary of him because
Yeah.
he has been known to be a liar, and he's also kind of
Yeah,
poor.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
And then Mr. Bennett being right again.
right. Because Mr. Bennett...
Best character.
As he always is.
Yeah, for real. Mr. Bennett is wonderful. What else happened during this section? I guess, did Collins propose last section? Or is that this section?
No, I think that was
It
this section.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Collins proposed, and then Elizabeth obviously rejected him, and then he just went straight to Charlotte because
Yep.
she
Yeah.
played him.
Like, he kept just asking and asking and asking
I know.
Elizabeth.
That was terrible.
It was gross.
I
Give
wrote
it up, dude.
I wrote on a sticky note, like, take the hint, dude.
That's what I
'Cause-
said. I was like, give it up. I was like, just
I
stop.
think I just wrote that, like, Collins is a DA.
It's like,
He's...
it's weird about. they
She
talk
put
so-
shut up.
It's like, it talks a lot about the dad dying. Which I'm like, I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about this last time, but like, why are we so invested in him dying? Like, what is wrong with him? Is
I
there
know.
something
Well,
wrong? Is he
and
super
then-
old?
Mrs. Bennett, or just Miss Bennett, is like becoming very worried about her daughter's sake now, especially with Jane and everything. And so my prediction of Mr. Bennett dying is still there.
I don't know. I am worried about what Miss Bennett is going to say if she catches wind that Elizabeth rejected Darcy.
Yeah, because like, she already doesn't like Elizabeth.
Well, because Darcy, isn't he like one of the richest people in all of
Yeah.
And
England?
she's already had a panic attack.
Like the dude is at the palace like
But
all
at the
the
same time, she didn't really like Darcy, so maybe it won't.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll just be like, well, I can understand. And then if Elizabeth does get with Darcy, I wonder what Miss Bennett is going to think. Because it's like, well, my daughter's super rich, but...
Okay. Is it like put in stone that Darcy is the reason that Mr. Bingley is not with Jane? Is it set in
No.
stone? That's what I
I
thought.
think that's what Mr. Wickham alluded to, or who
No,
was it
that would be
alluded to
that would be Darcy's other officer friend, the Colonel.
Colonel, what is
Yeah.
Fitz
That
William?
Elizabeth drew attention
Fitz-
to, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be another Wickham case where he's just an officer, and officers are just little liars, they're little pretty boys, and
I liked the Colonel though. I thought he spoke highly of Darcy,
yeah, I don't know,
but I don't want Elizabeth
but he's the
to be
one.
with him.
He's the one that claimed that Darcy was the reason that Bingley,
okay, that's true.
and he had been after Jane as well.
Maybe they just use Darcy as a scapegoat because he's unagreeable.
But,
Instead of trying to look into the sisters, because the sisters are very polite, but Elizabeth sees through that.
well, Jane said that she is not naive to them anymore,
It's good. They're mean.
but
The Bingleys.
I think it's gonna come back that Darcy is the because he was confused. Darcy was confused about the
Like accusation.
yeah, like he was like Jane to London seeing Mr. Bingley. Like, I'm kind of confused. All I know is that he was not coming back to what was it called? What's it called? Netherfield?
Netherfield.
Like that he wasn't coming back to Netherfield again or whatever. And so Darcy could possibly go back to London because he's been taking back and forth trips, and he goes to Mr. Bingley like
Why
asking
the heck
like
aren't you
why
with Jane?
yeah, like, so I get you came here, but what is this about you leaving Netherfield, not coming back to Netherfield to escape Jane or
And
something?
she
Yeah,
was there
'cause I
for
feel
4
like-
weeks in
Yeah.
London, wasn't
I know,
she?
yeah.
And like she never saw any of the Bingleys.
No. And like
girls none of
the
guys.
common trope is, in that movie She's All That, where like the guy makes the bet or whatever,
Yes.
and then
I've
the
seen
girl
that
finds
movie.
out and she's so mad. I feel like this is gonna be that scenario. Like, in order to win Elizabeth back over, he's gonna have to do something big
Yeah.
to show her how much he truly cares.
Like
So I
bring
wonder,
Bingley back
yes,
to Jane.
A grand
like,
gesture.
force
Or
them
something,
together,
yes.
And it's like, look, I'm actually a really nice guy.
and it's not gonna be like
I don't think I'll
a
force them
field
together.
of roses or something.
But I
you
think
know,
that
but-
I think that Darcy is going to, like, bring it up, and then he may set it up to where Bingley sees Jane, and then Bingley will be like, eventually tell his sisters to screw off.
But
Well,
also,
I
What
think the
kind?
ball's in Elizabeth's court right now. I think that she's gonna ultimately be the one who has to like change her mind or gain a new perspective or get a new piece of information
I don't know.
that changes things.
Darcy is protective over his sister, who's supposed to marry.
that's what
Bingley.
I'm worried about, though, because Darcy's in
Are
a
they
hard
actually gonna be married?
position. Well, Darcy
betrothed?
wants his sister to have someone who's going to be good to her, which he knows Bingley would, but Jane also deserves someone, and he loves Elizabeth. So,
it
like,
would benefit Darcy more to make Bingley and Jane together. Like for
Yeah.
Personally,
yeah, but he cares about his sister probably as much as Elizabeth.
yes, but he also may not want her to be in a because he's
Relationship with Bingley,
because he's
yeah.
in
She
he's
knows.
found out that
Yeah.
without better judgment he's fallen in love,
Right.
and he's figured out that he prefers love over like
The sisterly bond.
well just over like
over no love.
being in a relationship where there isn't love is just based off the situation
That's
that
true.
best
About that.
fits. So if Mr. Bingley and his sister would be a loveless marriage, he may not want that.
That reminds me of something that happened with Elizabeth that I thought was interesting. So, the same way Collins and Eliza's friend got married only for practical and financial reasons, and Elizabeth could not stand that. She couldn't fathom the idea of a purely practical marriage without any love. It's kind of interesting how Darcy's basically proclaiming the exact opposite, that there is no financial incentive and no practical reasons to get married, but he still loves her anyway. And there was the parallel there that she rejected, even
Like
though there
foils.
was attraction. Yeah.
Yes.
They also had a lot of conversations where they were talking about their similarities with each other.
I love whenever they're joking together, and I think it was like 2 chapters before the end of this section, and he's like, I'm not afraid of you, or something like that, and I was like, oh.
You should be. It's cute.
It is cute.
Kyle, you don't think so?
Mm,
It's flirting.
It is.
It's cute flirting.
Yeah, it's cute flirting.
yes.
They're picking on each other and like that's good for it.
Yeah.
He doesn't agree.
I don't not agree. I just don't have much to comment on that particular subject.
Oh, poor Kyle.
Can I ask what this
Yes, woe is me.
This,
is? Yes.
it's sugar-free orange and sugar-free vanilla Italian cream soda, but it's like not staying together. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know
Oh,
what's
me and Hannah were talking about about how it talked about Collins was it Longbourn.
Oh, yes, and
that was so gross.
Collins was like
Okay,
staying
I found
with
it, I
the
found it.
Bennetts.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, read the line.
But his reception at Longbourn was not quite so gracious. Yada yada. He was too happy, however, to need much attention, and luckily for the others, the business of love-making relieved them from a great deal of his company.
I know.
It's like
I was like,
he did it at Longbourn, where everybody was.
and then Remy and I were discussing like, well, I guess that's better than like Charlotte being in her parents' house.
But then like they're at the
still-
Lucas Lodge. Still, like they're
So
over there
I don't
too.
know if that just meant like preparing things for the wedding or like preparing the things for the wedding.
Oh my god.
You know, that's what I was trying to figure out. I didn't know if in this context it was like,
Guys said like most
sex
of his
or-
days were made.
Yeah, I pray it
expand
has an
Lucas
alternative
Lodge.
meaning.
I know, because I was
But-
like, that's so weird.
Literally, no one needed to know that.
Well, it is Collins.
Ugh, poor Charlotte.
Poor Charlotte. Poor Charlotte. I feel bad for her.
They're
She's in the place she wants to be.
Blech.
Maybe
you
she'll
imagine?
maybe she'll meet a nice
Choice.
milkman or something.
Milkman.
That's a choice.
Hopefully, because Collins is a man of God, she won't be subjected to that.
But he's also getting married as a priest.
Blech.
So like, and like it's weird because like Charlotte's like, yeah, go ahead, get married.
It's weird how they talked about how it's almost necessary for him to get married because
Yeah,
he's a
because
priest.
Catherine is like, I don't know. I don't like
It's a
her.
weird relationship.
I don't like her at all. She's very.
I think
She's
it's,
like a snooty booty, but she's.
I think it's funny
like-
though that like Darcy, because you know, Catherine wants Darcy to marry her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and Darcy proposes to Elizabeth in her
I know,
house.
in her house. It's like, well, whoops.
What?
You want what you want. What else?
What
Let's
else?
see.
I'm so tired.
So we're all rooting for Darcy at this point?
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Who's the other
I've been rooting for him
So
since
like
day
Colonel,
one.
Wickham, thankfully not Collins anymore.
Yeah.
Even
Thankfully,
even
he's
when
off the
even when
table.
everybody hated him at first, I was rooting for Darcy from the
I
beginning.
love Darcy. He has a massive library.
I said he was prideful, but like,
whatever.
No, when he
I'd
was
much
like
rather be with
no, when
Darcy
he
who
was
will
ma-
keep you on your toes
when he was
than
I'm talking about like
Collins.
everybody was kind of like upset with the part that he was like making fun of everyone
okay.
like at
That's
that
true.
stage, but I was kind of looking at it from the guy perspective where it's like I see you. I
see you.
I know
Oh, yeah.
I know where you're at.
I do think that it was very out of nowhere. Like, to me, Jane Austen didn't really... Like, it felt like she didn't allude to his feelings a lot.
And then like all of a sudden.
And then
he
all of
has
a sudden
these
he's
strong
proposing.
feelings.
No, I disagree. I think there was so many parallels with him and Eliza that it kind of made sense. You could see the attraction building because they had so much in common, and a lot of their thoughts and opinions kind of mirrored each other.
That's true.
And then there was times where you'd hear their thoughts. Darcy specifically, where you'd see him act more and more attracted to Eliza as things went.
Maybe it's just different in comparison to nowadays. Because, like, I guess marriage is, like...
It moved quicker back then.
Right. Like
it only said, like, for a few minutes.
It also talked.
Yeah.
It was also like right before the whole proposal thing. I don't remember what chapter it was, but it was talking about. It was him and Elizabeth talking.
Oh, yeah, and he
They were
kept
talking-
walking her, like, home.
Yeah, but they were talking about like how he just socially he is not there.
That's
He
true.
doesn't know how to socialize.
You know?
So
That's another thing that they
he may just
Yeah.
not really know how to.
Like, make small talk that would
Yeah.
be dating back then,
Yeah.
I guess.
And then the whole proposing thing, he just,
He just enjoys her company, and that's why he kept showing up to
Yeah.
walk her, but that was the only way that he showed his feelings.
Darcy hates making appearances.
Which,
and
like, that's
going through
nice,
emotions.
but, like, it's also...
Well, like, okay, you're walking with me. Cool.
you might miss.
That's it. You
like,
know?
enjoy. I don't know. Like, do something more.
Yeah, like, he doesn't
Yeah.
smile.
He doesn't
Like
know.
the beginning.
He doesn't really
like the beginning of the
talk.
book when it says that it said like the girl has to do more to get the guy to do
Yeah.
something. Well, maybe he needs to do some more to get
Yeah,
her to do
for
something
real.
Elementary stuff.
because she's a lot different
Than
than the other
most
girls
girls.
in the
Yeah.
story.
She's not going to
She's not
chase
like other
them.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Darcy's
That
not
is
like,
the common trope. She's not like the
she's
other
not like
girls.
other girls.
That's funny.
We have 25 minutes now, right?
Yeah, we only
Yeah.
have to.
I thought it was just 20. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that Darcy steps up, like, more than he already has, and Elizabeth changes her mind. But we still have a lot of the book left.
I want to see Bingley
like-
back.
Yeah, me too. I want Jane and Bingley to be
No.
together, and
I
I
like-
want.
I didn't even realize that happened, and then, like, you said something about it. I was like, wait, what? They're gone? They're over?
I know,
gone
because
now?
I was really hoping that the sisters had just, like, made it up or something. But once Darcy said, like, I don't think he's coming back, like, he might, I was like, oh, he.
That's just like his confusion. That he's like,
Yeah, like, I don't know.
wait, why are you blaming me for this? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So maybe Elizabeth will realize that she was just being rude, and
Yeah.
she probably had a lot of emotions. Because, like, that came out of
He
nowhere.
did come out of nowhere.
She's probably mad that, like, Bingley left and Darcy hasn't done anything
Right.
to fix it.
And then all the stuff with Lady Catherine.
Yeah. And then Darcy
I
was
would be
like, I
so
love you.
annoyed.
Marry me.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Elizabeth is going through a lot right now. And maybe that's just why all of it came out at Darcy. Maybe she doesn't necessarily feel that way.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll, like, rethink it and go, oh, maybe I should just
Oh, wait.
calm down.
And,
It happens.
on like a little side note, I don't know if you guys have probably noticed this by now. I just thought it was interesting. I was realizing what Pride and Prejudice were, like talking about Darcy's pride and Elizabeth's prejudice.
Uh-huh.
That's what it alluded to. I didn't realize that until recently.
I always wondered what it was like
Yeah.
before it started. So I was like, that's weird. Title.
Darcy the
do-
egomaniac.
I guess I've never thought about that as, like, Elizabeth having prejudice against those who seem like they have a lot of money.
Yeah, she seems to have a lot of double standards with her
Yes,
opinions.
definitely. Because,
Yeah.
like, she wants someone who isn't snobbish, but she immediately judges people whenever they're unagreeable. But then she also judges people if they're agreeable because she,
Same.
yeah, like,
Same.
so she,
She's a girl.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, she wants someone agreeable, but she's also not very agreeable.
Exactly.
She doesn't
And then
wanna work
she
too
doesn't
hard,
want
but she's not
someone
there or something.
unagreeable because, so maybe that's also just her conflicting interests,
Yeah.
like her trying to figure out exactly what she wants
Yeah.
and what's, like, if you're trying to go against
'Cause she's not-
society's acceptable, then
But she's not like normal. Like
right.
she's like not weird. But she's not like
She
not
doesn't
like the
try
other
to be
girls.
agreeable.
Yeah, she's not like putting herself out there too much, and she's not trying that hard. Like especially with the Darcy's situation. So
Right.
she's like trying to figure out. She doesn't want like a crazy, over the top guy either, because it's not like her.
Right. So I don't know. I definitely think her and Darcy should get together.
Oh, I only have 40 more chapters till that happens.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I keep thinking. I know. We still have a lot left
No,
of the book.
and we're at 34. There's 61 chapters. But we have about 20 more chapters till we find out that Darcy and Elizabeth will be together finally.
Yep.
I mean, we know how it ends.
No, I don't.
Do we?
We don't know how it ends. We just
We know.
We
that
have a
Well,
they're
we know
pretty
that
big-
Elizabeth
They're
and
getting
Darcy,
together.
yeah.
But
What if
That's all
Darcy
we
dies
got.
or something? We don't know.
Probably not, because then they'd be kind of screwed in the
this is
whole estate situation.
now we just got to try and figure out what's gonna happen with like
Yeah, until
Jane
they get
and
together.
Bingley and like what's gonna happen before
And like the other daughters, maybe
Yeah.
they'll meet someone, probably colonels.
and when Mr. Bennett dies.
I don't think
That's
Mr.
when he
Bennett is
dies.
gonna die.
I'm guaranteeing he dies.
No.
I will bet you.
That could be a good like emotional climax of the.
Maybe that's
Novel.
when she runs to him, you know,
But-
like Elizabeth. I don't have
I
my
don't know.
father. I
It's
need
it's
another
kind
The
of
other
a
two
coin
girls
toss.
go and get the two. Oh wait, there's two officers that have been mentioned in
I
this
kind of hope
story.
Catherine dies. I'd rather her die than Bennett.
Lady Catherine?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
there's been two.
I don't like her.
There's been
I don't know anyone.
There's
who
been
is.
two officers mentioned in this book, and the two youngest daughters
Mm-hmm. Are obsessed with them?
are obsessed with officers.
So maybe that will happen. I don't want either of them to marry Wickham though, because they
Yeah.
won't have a lot of money.
That's what I was gonna say.
And
Well, they're gonna. Okay,
he's probably not gonna.
Okay, how much time is left? Are we coming up to our predictions?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Okay. Predictions
go
here.
for it.
Being the hypothetical person I am, the two youngest daughters will end up with some officers.
You
Wickham or
think
not.
by the end of the book?
Yes. And
Maybe not married,
but like with
Yeah.
yeah. And then what was the one daughter's name?
Jane?
No.
No.
Mary?
Mary, yeah. Maria.
No, that's Mariah.
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 Lucas's daughter.
Mary.
Mary.
Yeah, Mary.
Mary's the third oldest.
She that just reminded me because like Miss
Okay.
Mary telling you the other day.
I know. Actually, it's Mariah, and I was like, oh, okay.
But
Like
Mary, I don't know. She's gonna end up with just
No one.
some basic dude,
Some smarty pants.
some basic dude, and then we got Jane.
With Bingley. I hope. I really hope
I think he
so.
comes
He's
back.
gotta come back.
I think he comes back. I think he was too important at the beginning of the book.
I agree.
Yeah.
We spent too much time on him for him to just go away.
And he loved Jane way too much. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did he
just
never
to
come back?
leave.
And then and then
I guarantee. Oh, I've got. Okay, so
well, we never got to get to Elizabeth here.
Oh my
the most
goodness.
important one here.
Hurry it up, Kaden.
Mr. Bennett dies and Elizabeth goes with Darcy.
Okay. Kyle, what do you think?
okay, I had a thought. So, I think that. What was his name again? I've literally just heard it. The
Like,
when Jane was in
Collins. Bingley.
Bingley, yeah. So Bingley's going to come back, and he is going to say that Darcy didn't have anything to do with him deciding not to leave. It was his sisters or something like that, and that like Eliza's going to hear about that, and he's going to realize that, or she's going to realize that she was wrong about Darcy or something like that, and that's how they start getting attracted to each other again.
Maybe it's gonna be one of those really stupid scenes where like she overhears it, but Darcy's on his way to somewhere else, and she's like, "No, Darcy," and then like runs to him, and then finally gets there and is like, "Oh, please don't leave. I'm so sorry."
In a field of flowers.
I love
Or
him.
whatever, yeah. Or like he's getting in the carriage.
Or one of those
scenes.
corny, like, in the rain scenes.
Yes, exactly. Where
There
she's
is a
like,
scene where it's in the rain.
Nope, that's it. right
Yep.
there.
At least in the movie it is.
Oh, we still got 10 seconds.
I think it'll be great.
Did you finish your predictions?
It'll be
Yeah.
fantastical.
Well, pretty much mine's the same thing, but I think like Darcy's gonna have something to do with Bingley coming back, and then Melissa's.
That'll be the big gesture.
You are a good guy. I love you. And I don't think Ben's dying. I think that would be just.
I don't think he's gonna die either.
I feel like it'd be random.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Like,
They've
all
been
of a sudden,
talking about
oh,
it the
he's dead,
entire
okay.
time.
Yes, but
Yeah,
Like,
they allude
what's
to it.
gonna
But they
cause it?
might subvert the expectation of the kid. I'm not sure.
I don't
know,
think
it's
so.
just- it
Because
would
then
seem
Miss
random.
Bennet would have to live with someone.
right.
And then the sisters would be doomed. The other sisters.
Because they're like young,
Yeah, they're like
so
16.
they can't really marry off quite.
Right.
Do you think Darcy's sister's gonna marry anybody?
No.
Mm.
Just because,
She's
just
young,
no.
too.
Because the only person she has right now is Bingley, and I don't want her to marry him, so no.
Yeah, he's Virginia.
Well, I mean, if Darcy's, he's young, he's not gonna die. He's not gonna kick her out anywhere.
Right.
Right.
End of
He
discussion.
only has about 8 houses to put her in.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.